So what do you guys say we head to a wonderful place that's called the Blood Mist Isle?
Arkenan Poros.
By the way, this is the guy that you can be able to acquire the different Draenei Elic mounts. You can
Remember
visually
the
see them
lessons
here.
of the past.
You know, they're basically elephant-looking like mounts. Never been too fond of them.
The Naru have not forgotten us.
He adjusts his eye patch to look at you. This is the best that we can offer the Hand of Argus? Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Alright, let me have a look at those orders. Is he crazy? Entrusting something like this to some no-named Draenei youngling? Excuse me, I'm standing right here. Just remember this, kid. You'll never make it as a Hand of Argus. You don't have the guts. Oh, let me attack him. I was about to just, blast him and be like, oh, really? I guess I'll have to humor him this time. Speak with Vorkan at Kessel's Crossing on Blood Mist Isle. Just follow the road north from here, and when it forks, just keep on going north.
Do not lose
What
faith.
a jerk. Unbelievable. Just blatantly insulting me. My gosh. Even called me a kid, though. And this is kind of funny because, well, I actually don't. I mean, so remember what I said about how the Draenei are one of the actual immortal races in this setting? So we're probably actually very young compared to some other Draenei. We're not, like Velen, 25,000 years, but we're probably, it's probably a similar situation to the, the Asari in Mass Effect. So you remember how when we first met Liara, that in Mass Effect 1, how she mentioned that she was, like only 109 or something like that? And for us humans, that's like, whoa, you're over 100 years old. And then she points out that's actually extremely young in Asari culture because remember our race can live up to over 1,000 years, so I'm barely considered a child amongst the other Asari, and I guess that's probably the similar type of thing that our player characters, when we make a Draenei, that our characters are in as well, that we are comparatively to other Draenei are probably barely, and explore the rest of the entire isle. We're probably young compared to many of the other members of the Draenei. Especially if we compare ourselves to Velen, who is, one of the oldest amongst them. But there's really, I don't think, any definitive, indication of how old our characters actually are. So, one flight location in this place, so. Kessel's Crossing. By the way, take note of that name. Kessel's Crossing. What does that remind you of? I say that for you to remember it for a quest we get here later.
Good fortune.
Well, you made it this far. Let's put you to work before you get too bloodied up.
Remain vigilant.
One thing that we have learned in our travels is that extreme care must be taken when introducing wildlife from one world to another. When the Exodar crashed, it was carrying specimens of various outland species, including an insectoid predator called the Ravager. Some of the specimens were lost, but many others survived and took to the wild. That's something else I forgot to mention. These Draenei came here from Outland. They had been on Draenor, which is now Outland. They had been on Outland for quite some time, and then they took the Exodar and came here. So that's why it's here, because the Draenei who were on Outland took the Auxidar and crash landed it here, trying to get away from all the stuff going on in Outland, with Kael'thas, Kil'jaeden, and Illidan. Anyways. Some of these specimens were lost, but many others survived and took to the wild. If we don't keep them in check, they will upset the natural balance here out in the islands. You will find these ravagers to the west of Kessel's Crossing, near the coast.
Blessings upon your family.
Warm wishes to you.
The Kessel Run. Yes, this is a Star Wars reference. It's the ship that made the Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs. So, I'm not going to do that right now, because once you take that, it starts being timed. So, I'm going to hold off on doing that quest,
Each
okay?
day is a blessing.
I have made a wonderful discovery, priest. On the uncorrupted part of the island grows a remarkable fruit called the sand pear. They are found near the bottoms of the trees. I have been preparing pies for them. But if I'm not careful, the Elec will start to wander over and steal my fruit. I have taken to gathering enough to share with the animals, but my stores are gone, and the craving for pie has returned. Would you be willing to help gather the fruit that I need for another batch of pies? I promise I will share. Well, he's going to give me 20 sandpear pies. Alright, sure.
Remember the lessons of the past.
Okay. Like I said, we're going to hold off on the other one, because that's going to involve us going all the way back down to the bottom of Azure Mist Isle and coming all the way back within 15 minutes. Now, if you're wondering, well, how can you do that if you don't have this mount at level, 10 or so? Well, that's because they provide one of these Elecs for you to go all the way down and come back. So, at least there's that. Let's just say it would be better if I did it once I got to level 20 and I get access to my mounts. So. But yeah, it's one of those where once you realize that it starts timing you the moment you pick it up, you're like, oh, crap, and you have to immediately head down there. It's like, I need to make this Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs. I mean, let's be honest, that's of course what Blizzard is making a joke and a reference to, because of course they would. Because the guys at Blizzard are not, they're big Star Wars fans, they're big Star Trek fans. I mean, for goodness sakes, they brought in John Delancey to voice a character in StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void. Of course, they basically just had him be a sinister version of Q. Not evil, just more sinister, which is one of the things that made Alarak such a wonderful character. But of course, they were like, okay, John, look, I want you to picture Q, but more sinister. Just do that. Because of course they would be like, yep, just do Q, because we love it so much, because we're such big fans of yours and big fans of Star Trek The Next Generation. So, my point is that, of course, they would do a quest that would be a joke about the Kessel Run from Star Wars, which itself is kind of a hilarious, when you find out why that was kind of invented in this, for the movie, it's kind of funny. The backstory of why. But then, of course, we saw in the movie Solo what actually happened, so, By the way, I'm one of those who actually, I enjoyed the Solo movie. I wouldn't say it was a great movie or anything. I didn't enjoy it or as much as Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was awesome. Even though there are of course issues, it's not not a fantastic movie, but I really liked it. Of course, I will never forget seeing the scene at the end with Vader for the first time in theaters. Seeing that for the first time was amazing. All I have to do is just say the Vader scene. 1, you know exactly what I'm talking about. 2, that doesn't spoil what it is for those watching this who have never actually seen that movie and don't know what I'm talking about. To which I say, if you like Star Wars, first off, why haven't you seen it yet? 2, you should see it, because it's a pretty good movie, especially the scenes, he's not in the movie that much, but the scenes where Vader is in them, I really liked. Plus, there were some other various different things about that film I also liked, like some of the plot stuff that was going on, and how it basically helped make what happened in the original Star Wars film make more sense and be better, where it actually kind of aided it. And because there's some things about the original Star Wars movie that we can easily make fun of and joke around about, and this movie actually kind of helped it make more sense. Obviously, I'm not going to say what exactly it was, because that's kind of spoiler territory, but I'm just saying, I really liked what they did with that film. Even though there were some things I was like, that I didn't exactly love. But there were some things about it I really liked. And to quote Forrest Gump, that's all I have to say about that. If you haven't seen Forrest Gump, oh my gosh, what is wrong with you? See that movie. Forrest Gump is an amazing movie. It's a reason it won Best Picture of the Year.
Krona Kai Christor.
Well done, Miala. The Ravager population will bear watching for some time to come, but we have made a good start.
May your days be long and your hardships.
Warm wishes to
The
you.
sand pears are getting harder to find, and of course that means less pie and fewer treats for the Alec here. Were you able to gather all the fruit that I need? Yes, I found 10 sand pears. Ah, did you have a difficult time finding enough? It's been taking me longer with each trip. Soon I'll have to stop altogether since I won't be able to spare the time. Thank you for gathering the pears for me. It gives me a chance to make a last pie or two before the season's out. And he gives me a vest and some pies. Wonderful.
Now, is this really the only quest he has?
The Legion's end draws near.
Okay. Well, since this is the only quest he has at the moment, let's go ahead and do this. I mean, I do have this mount. So, how fast does this make me go? Hopefully it's enough.
Ah, you're just in time, Miala. Blood Elf activity in this area has doubled in the past week. Our agents have informed us that the Blood Elves that call themselves Sunhawks plan to launch an offensive upon Azramis soon. I need you to get a warning out to our allies and compatriots. Warn High Chief Steelpine at Steelpine Hold, Exarch Menalus at Azure Watch, and Admiral Odysseus at Odysseus Landing. Time is of the essence, so I am lending you my Elec. Be sure to keep it out of water.
Do not lose
So you
faith.
can see, boom, the timer starts. 15 minutes. Go! Yeah. But since I have this chauffeur to drive me around, I don't necessarily need the Alec. But yeah, he's like, keep it out of water. And it's like, don't worry, pal, don't worry. But yeah, so now you have to go here, you have to go here, and you have to go here. All, and then all the way back, all within 15 minutes. Because you have to warn them, it's coming, an attack is coming. I'm basically doing, the British are coming, the British are coming. It's that type of thing. But it's just, it's just funny that that place was named Kessel's Crossing just so they could do this quest. No, not just, but I can imagine that the devs, they just couldn't help themselves. They're like, dude, we gotta do a quest that's a joke about the Kessel Run. We're making the Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs. I know it's 15 minutes, but let's pretend that parsecs admits, that 12 parsecs equal 15 minutes. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe in this case, I don't know. I don't remember how long a parsec is in Star Wars. Forgive me. I'm a Star Wars fan. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not the biggest I guess nerd you could say when it comes to all the Star Wars everything about Star Wars. I know quite a bit about Star Wars, but not everything. We thank you for the warning. The Steelpine tribe will be prepared. All right, good. Bye. Now I gotta head to Azure Watch. I even got some of my other mounts out for this, just in case, just to kind of like, show them off or use it for this. So I decided to kind of like, changed up a bit. On my main Shadow Priest, I basically have nothing but purple mounts, but I kind of threw in a few others, like the Ironclad Frostclaw that I got for doing both factions stories in BFA. The Lightforged Fellcrusher I got from unlocking the Lightforged Draenei. The Lightforged Warframe, which I was able to acquire enough gold to purchase from the vendor in Legion on Argus. The Corrupted Firehawk for pulling off the Glory of the Firelands Raider. Was able to get a group, or find a group that was doing that achievement of 6 people, and we were able to pull it off. And of course the Priest-only mount from Legion, and the Onyxian Drake, because it's purple, and because it's Onyxian's Drake. The mount that I got on my 4th attempt, I believe. This was back even before I added rarity as a add-on.
Arcanon.
Thank you for the warning. We will prepare our defenses.
Now we head all the way down to the bottom to warn Odysseus. Now, you're probably looking at this going, well, this doesn't seem like a big deal. You have 50 minutes and you're blazing through this. Yeah, but again, remember he said keep the Elec out of water. Now, he lets you have the Elec in order to do this. Now, imagine that you land in water and then you can't use the Elec again. And so then you have to do this on foot. Yeah. Then you're going to be like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Greetings.
Thanks for the warning. We shall prepare.
Light bless you.
Alright, so now it's ready to turn in. The timer is gone. We had a 15-minute timer, and we warned all 3 within 5 minutes. Yeah.
We made the Kessel run in under 12 parsecs.
I'm just saying.
I see the Draenei Paladin running around, and it reminds me, oh yeah, that's right, I need to get back to leveling my Lightforged Draenei Paladin. Because I do want to actually level my allied races. I've just been very torn on whether or not I want to level them now, or simply wait for Shadowlands and level them then. Why is a Worgen here?
They probably got out of the Star Zone and went, you know what, I like questing in the Isles over where the Draenei are. I'll go there. Or maybe they're, running into a friend. Maybe that person made a Worgen and their friend made a Draenei and they're like, hey, I'm going to meet you over there so we can quest together. Which is awesome. Which is always a good thing. Now, I, will be one of those who says that I actually would prefer this game being in the style of a co-RPG, which I think it's actually now more so than ever, which, for me personally, I don't mind that. I actually, for me that's a good thing. As opposed to an MMO, because I've never really been fond of the whole MMO genre thing, and the that whole focus that it's all about community and such. There are some MMOs that all they are is PvP. That's all they really are. And, well, yeah. Also, not to mention that, oh gosh, what was the other thing that I thought of? Oh, yeah, that if there's no story or questing or anything, all that this basically just becomes as an MMO is just a social interaction simulator type of thing. Or rather, one of those places you go to online to just interact with people or just talk with people, socialize with people. Okay, but this is a video game. If you want to, just socialize and interact with people, just go to a chat room or something, But if you're wanting to actually play a game with people, community is fine and all that. That's great, playing with friends, but you can also get the same out of, like I said, a co-RPG. And sometimes that actually benefits people more so than others. Because then they can play with their friends as opposed to a bunch of horrible random people that end up being complete jerks and ruining their fun and, experience. Because people talk about how, it, makes you interact with people normally you wouldn't. Yeah, and then those people end up being jerks. And then they just shrug their shoulders like, oh, well, that's just how it is. Live with it, deal with it. No. Not when you can actually fix it. Make it better. Make it more fun and enjoyable and accessible. You make it less accessible and close it off from other people, you're going to quickly see it actually die and go out of business because less and less people got into it and spent money on it. But if you make it more accessible for more people to play that are also willing to pay to play it, then it's going to live longer. Now, obviously, that also goes into a whole different argument as well about making quality content and making it where you don't feel like you're paying for fun quality content. But like I said, it's a whole different discussion. So, the whole discussion on WoW, there's so many different things to discuss and debate and, have conversations about. So, that it's both a good thing and a bad thing. So,
Good
hold on, let me have a drink of water.
Well done, Miala. This was a difficult test of your abilities, but you have passed with flying colors. To become a soldier of the Hand of Argus, you must pass many such tests. Have you seen the Serpent Men? The ones that call themselves Naga? Puh! They dared make an advance upon this camp under cover of darkness only 3 nights ago. Can you believe the audacity of those primitive beasts? Yeah, you'll soon learn they're not so primitive. I need you to deliver a message to their leadership. Leadership, Miala. To the northeast is Wrathscale Lair, home of Lord Ziz. Find him, slay him where he stands, and drive this banner through his corpse. Let them know fear whenever they should see our standard.
Wow.
This a god.
Okay, then. Place this banner on his corpse. Don't you dare daze me. Oh. Nope. That's it. You die. Princess Stillpine? Help me, Miala. The Bristlelimb captured me and are planning to sacrifice me to their foul gods. High Chief Bristlelimb holds the key that opens the cage to force him to appear. You must slaughter the evil Bristlelimb furbolgs that inhabit the Enclave, just 2 camps to the west of this cave. If you kill enough of them, he will surely come for vengeance. When he shows up, kill him and get the key. My father will richly reward you if you can save me. Okay, then. We shall save the princess. Hold on. Just to double check this. Just 2 camps to the west of this camp. Okay. So I gotta go to these 2 camps. Kill enough of them to get the leader to show up. Gotcha. It's okay, I ain't worried. Shadow of Pain. You have no chance. I can completely outsustain you.
face the wrath of Bristlelim.
Wait, where is he? Where's the High Chieftain? I heard him. He was like, I'm here. Where is he? He's not back down there, is he? No? Where'd he go? Where did he spawn? Oh, gosh. Oh, there he is. Hey, you. Get over here. Okay, I better be a little careful here. Oh, man. If I was doing that in Classic, I'd be dead. Especially since Shadow Priest was very, cost a lot. Thank you for saving me, Miala. My father will be delighted. Huh. I head over there to turn that in. Alright, whatever. Now to find Lord Ziz. I assume that's how it's pronounced. It's X-I-Z. Ziz. Or X. I'm just gonna go with Ziz. So yeah, lots of Naga around. But I mean, Naga obviously were in Warcraft 3, so it wasn't like this. This wasn't a huge revelation like Naga. Oh, that's right. I forgot. You can use the tab button to switch between targets. I completely forgot about that. Oh, come on. Boom! That's right. Fear the Draenei. I mean, you already fear the Eridar, but fear the Draenei as well. Wait. Nope. Whatever. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just kinda just passing through. By the way, you'll see there's now story progress in Blood Mist Isle. Whole story over here. 8 chapters. So.
The Naru have not forgotten us.
I am sorry that you had to do that, Miala. Heavy-handed violence is not the Draenei way, but sometimes it is the only way. This is one of life's truths that many do not understand until it is too late. So it was for our people. when we were slaughtered at the hands of the orcs. Becoming a Hand of Argus is a process of rebirth, and with birth comes pain. A Hand of Argus soldier is many things: obedient, brave, intelligent, and above all, honorable. You may yet exhibit some of these traits, priest. Report to Exarch Admetius at Bloodwatch if you are still interested in joining the Hand. He and his subordinates will further train you in the ways of the Draenei soldier. And remember this, Miala. Honorable people do not always perform honorably. Sometimes they cannot. You will find Bloodwatch just up this road to the north.
Be kind to those less fortunate.
Very well
Prices here are
said.
reasonable.
I think that was very well put. Because it's true. You can't always be able to, you know,
Remain vigilant.
as he put it, do the honorable thing,
May I be of
but you're
service?
still trying to be honorable.
Kind to those less.
Sometimes it's just not even an option. It's a sad thing, but it's also very, you know, it's just reality. So now we're heading up to the area with the one flight master area, which is also the next innkeeper as well, that we are going to be binding our Hearthstone to. So we are now up to 17. Ignore the horde players that just went by me in this starting zone. Gosh, I really hope that they are not... Now, keep in mind... Let me see this. Yeah, I don't even have an option to do that yet. Now, I will get that option at level 20, but dear... Oh my gosh. Now, maybe... I don't know whether or not I can actually see players who are in war mode right now in this kind of area at this level. Maybe the game doesn't do that. I really don't know, because I don't mess with war mode, because I would never mess with that. I detest world PvP. And you know why? Because when I see players like that, I wonder, are they max level characters here killing like low level characters, which I despise the very idea of. No, I'm sorry, but if you're one of those who likes to PvP kill low level characters, which I believe are called grievers, you are a terrible person. Seriously. Once again, you have proven yourself to be all that was prophesied. You have the eternal gratitude of the High Chief Miala, and these still pine relics to choose from. You know what's another thing they also do? They don't just kill low-level players, they also kill the NPCs here. And they specifically do it just to ruin the playing experience of players like myself, just because they think it's funny. They want to delay us being able to play the game because they find it funny and entertaining. And I think that is absolutely disgusting. Look at how many quests are in this area. Now, if you're wondering, because you can see the green one, the Flight Master is right up here. There we go. We'll be going through these in just a bit. I just want to also get
I hope you
our
find
new
something
Hearthstone down here. Boop, there we go. And now let's report to the Exarch before we start picking up all these different quests here. So many quests here. So many, so many. Exarch?
May the light embrace you.
I had the feeling that you would make it this far, priest. If you are willing to go further, I am willing to teach you.
Remember the lessons of the past.
Alright, so
Favor the
I think we'll stop here, and we'll start picking up all these quests when we return. Stay tuned.